Hey there, book lovers. Welcome back to the channel. If you're looking for a thrilling new read, you're in the right place. If you're new here, please subscribe and share. Also watch the first video to understand the book. Then she asked him, like a mother pretending to be kind to lure her son into speaking, "And would you really have made that promise to him, my dear grandson?" "Yes," he said. Here, she grabbed him by the collar of his clothes and lifted him into the air with one hand, then slapped him on the face with the other. Khalil tried to attack her, but Asif ordered him not to. "Stay where you are, Khalil," Taj screamed emotionally, her saliva flying onto his face. "Will you abandon your mother's revenge, you coward?" He didn't speak and remained silent while she continued angrily. "After all I've done for you, you say you want to give up?" "I didn't give up, but it's my father's wish. Your father is a trivial and despicable person. Don't insult him, Taj. I'll even defecate on his corpse." Asif lost control of his nerves and could no longer control himself after hearing that insult, and suddenly his left eye turned a dark red. He managed to break free from her grip using his strength, and then, to ensure that his revenge on her would be decisive, he looked at Khalil and shouted, "With all your strength." As soon as the bird received the order to attack, it flapped its wings and rushed towards her. But before it reached her, Tara intercepted its path. "Hold on, brave one," Asif protested. "Will you stand against us, Tara? Have you become two factions, members of the Ababil family, that I should stand on one side against the other? Have your enemies ended so that the war shifts between you?" He justified his outburst. "She insulted my dead father, stubbornly. A curse on your father. Watch your tongue, Taj," he said in a threatening tone. "Watch it, for Tara won't stop me from killing you next time. You let the one who killed your mother go free, and you come to flex your muscles on your poor grandmother. Is this what I raised you and cared for you for? Were you angry when I told you I would defecate on your father's corpse? What if I repeat it in front of you again? Yes, Asif, I will defecate on your father's corpse, and I will spit on his face and on the face of anyone who tries to stop you from taking your revenge." He couldn't bear those successive insults, so he launched towards her, resuming the attack. At the same time, Khalil flapped its wings and rose high into the air, away from Tara's defensive range, then descended from the sky at full speed towards Taj. But before they all clashed and the battle began between them, Tara said something that could turn the tables upside down. "What if I told you that the elephant's tusk is the one who killed your father?" He stopped in his tracks when he heard those words and ordered Khalil to halt the attack. He knew that Tara never lied, yet he exclaimed in objection, "Impossible! He warned me not to stand against him, so why would the elephant's tusk kill him? It's another deal. Every time something incomprehensible happens, you tell me it's a deal?" "The elephant's tusk spies are spread throughout the kingdom of Ababil, and they reported to him your pursuit of revenge, and that you might mobilize the Abadir family against him. So he asked your father to dissuade you from seeking revenge. Tell me something believable, Tara. The truth is sometimes harder to believe, Asif, but my father succeeded in dissuading me from revenge. So why would the elephant's tusk kill him in the end?" She answered, "To make it more impactful on you." Then she continued to explain her words, "To make you believe that it was your father's last wish, ensuring that you would never defy it for the rest of your life." His fangs and claws disappeared, and he exclaimed in a crying voice, "How many times must I kill you, elephant's tusk?" Taj approached him gently. "This is what I wanted to tell you, but I was afraid you wouldn't believe me." Asif muttered, "Indeed, I wouldn't have believed this if Tara hadn't said it." "And what will you do now?" she asked. "Continue the revenge," he answered. "You must hurry and summon Rosanna before sunset." Asif nodded his head to her. Then he and Khalil walked back home to ask the demon Rosanna to take them to meet the Abadir family. But before the two of them left, Taj said, "Look for Ayub." He stopped in his place and sent a glance over his shoulder towards his grandmother. "Why? If he is alive, he will be useful to you in your upcoming battle." "You mean the tribes of the Ashas? Do you know anything about those tribes? My father told me about them before he died." "Tell me, how can I find you?" "If you go west to the farthest borders of the kingdom of Ababil, you will find a long chain of tall black mountains behind which the sun sets. Those forbidden mountains are inhabited by the tribes of the Ashas." Then she added, "And if luck is on your side, you will find him there." After Asif and Khalil left the place, Taj turned towards Tara and asked, "Why did you lie to him?" Tara didn't say anything and crawled back towards the forest. Taj repeated her question. "Why did you tell him that the elephant's tusk was the one who killed his father?" "To protect him," Tara said, then added as she continued crawling towards the forest, "I knew you would kill him if he insisted on fulfilling his father's will and seeking revenge. I had to lie to him to protect him from you. Asif took a piece of his father's clothes, soaked in the scent of his blood. Then he and his friends gathered in the inner courtyard of the house. He took out the emperor's pendant from under his clothes, held it in his hand, and stomped the ground with his left foot 3 times. The ground split open, and the demoness Rosanna emerged, bowing respectfully. "Has His Highness the Prince accomplished the task?" he said painfully, handing her the piece of cloth. "This is the blood." The demoness licked the cloth with her tongue and said, "And where is your father's body? Why do you ask about it? I must verify for myself that he is dead." She went to verify for herself that Bahar had indeed passed away, as the emperor's family would surely ask her about it later and confirm whether she had seen the body herself or not. When she did and confirmed that he was truly dead, she returned to Asif and said politely, "You will choose one of your friends to accompany you to meet your family." The wise man stepped forward confidently and addressed the others. "We won't be long. We'll return quickly after meeting the emperors." But Asif, who had decided something else, said, "Sarabi." The wise man asked innocently, "What about her?" "She will accompany me." "Who will accompany you?" he asked in astonishment. "You will stay here, wise man, as you have things to do for me." But the wise man didn't say anything out of anger, so Asif said, "I need your wisdom here much more than anywhere else. Do you think you can fool me with these words, you flatterer?" He smiled gently, asking as if he wanted to reconcile, "I trust your opinion, wise man. Do you really think I'm a flatterer?" "The truth is no," the wise man said sincerely. "You're just foolish and reckless. Can I trust you?" The wise man looked at him with dissatisfaction, then said after a moment, "You know you can always trust me." Asif explained the plan to them after they gathered around him. "You, wise man, will climb onto a cleal and go together towards the west to the farthest borders of the kingdom of Ababil until you find a chain of tall black mountains behind which the sun sets." The wise man asked seriously, "Do you mean the forbidden mountains inhabited by the tribes of the Ashas? Do you know them?" "Of course." Then he added jokingly, laughing, "I heard your father talk about them before he died." When everyone looked at him with displeasure, he regained his seriousness and said, "And what do you want us to do there, I wonder?" "I want you to search for Ayub. Are you sure we'll find him?" he asked fearfully. "What if we don't find him? Then our chances of winning the war will decrease." Akhlil read the fear in the wise man's eyes but didn't comment and asked, "What should we tell Ayub?" "You will tell him that the annoying little louse wants your help." The wise man asked, "What in heaven's name does that mean?" "Just tell him that, and he will understand." After the wise man climbed onto Akhlil's back and they set off west towards the chain of forbidden mountains, Asif turned to the northerner and said, "And you, northerner, will take my father's body and bury it in the village cemetery, then return to this house to wait for the wise man and Akhlil to return. As for me and Sarabi, we will go now and return to you after meeting the emperors." "Very well," said the northerner as he prepared to leave. Asif stopped him. "You will bury him next to my mother's grave." "And how will I know your mother's grave among all the graves?" "When you get there, the scent of jasmine will guide you to it." "But what if someone is buried next to her?" "Then you will dig up the body and place my father's body in its place." Sarabi clung to Asif's clothes while he reached out his hand, holding Rosanna's hand. "Are you ready, your highness?" More than ever. The ground of the inner courtyard split open, and the demoness Rosanna descended with Asif and Sarabi, heading towards the lost city of Wabur to meet the emperor's family. The task of convincing that family would not be easy, but Asif felt more optimistic than ever, not because of his self-confidence, but because Sarabi was with him.